Apprenticeship Week 2025, presented by me, Daniel Akibune. It's a pleasure to have you all here today, and we've got a lot of content to cover for you. And that content includes, so first I'll be going over what is my role, then I'll be going over why choose Apprentice Team Limited. I'll also be covering our services and giving you an overview of the apprenticeships we deliver. Then I'll be covering the endpoint assessment, off-the-job training, funding and eligibility, and there'll be an opportunity to ask all the questions you want at the end as well. So firstly, just to give you a little bit of background to myself, so I've worked in the education sector for several years. I've always been a big believer in education, as the more you know, the better decisions that you are able to make. I also actually completed an apprenticeship myself several years ago, and it's laid a lot of foundations for me that have really helped me in my career. And last year, I actually started working for Apprenticeship Team Limited as a information advice and a guidance officer, and my role includes several different parts. So firstly, I deliver the information sessions for new learners and employers, just explaining our apprenticeship programs and services. I also conduct enrollment appointments for new learners, just to provide a smooth onboarding process, just to help them familiarize themselves with the process. I also organize regular key account meetings with employers, just to review the learner's progress. So as employers, you'll also get updated on everything that your apprentice is doing. Then I also conduct reviews with learners on completion of their apprenticeship, just to discuss their experience, progression, and further opportunities. So they are getting that aftercare as well. Now, a bit about us as a company. So we are a registered training provider delivering apprenticeships and work-based qualifications. We've also been rated good by Ofsted, and we're based in Chesterfield, Derbyshire, and we deliver training throughout England through our dedicated team of apprenticeship tutors. Now, we've also been operating for over 10 years in the training and skills industry, so we've got a wealth of experience and can provide a bespoke support and guidance for employers and learners. So also a little bit about what we offer. So we do have a variety of program choices and services that are dependent on your circumstances and individual needs. And these include complementary apprenticeship recruitment services for employers, also apprenticeship advice and guidance for individuals looking to start an apprenticeship. And then we also have work-based qualifications for existing employees within businesses. Now, actually, why choose us as your provider? So we have several reasons. So we actually have 100% pass rate across all apprenticeship standards. We've also supported over 2,000 learners, and 95% of learners and employers actually recommend us as a provider. So it's always nice to hear that. And then 62.9%, we have a 62.9% retention rate for the 23-24 contract year. And we've also been rated 4 out of 4, which is excellent on the government apprenticeship directory. And as I said before, we've also got over 10 years of experience delivering quality apprenticeships. So we do offer several types of apprenticeships in finance and payroll. You've also got business administration. We also got HR. We've also got customer services. We've got marketing and content creation apprenticeships. We've got leadership and management apprenticeships and data apprenticeships, which I'll all be covering for you. But first, I just want to quickly cover the benefits of an apprenticeship. So apprenticeships, they are an exciting paid option for anybody that does want to gain experience, potentially upskill, or maybe change career as well, just as they offer the chance to earn a wage whilst you work and study. So you're able to gain experience and develop your skills. You also get a nationally recognized qualification, and you also get exposure to industry professionals. You also get quality tutors that will support you throughout the duration of your apprenticeship. So you're going to get all the help and guidance that you need as well. Now, firstly, we're going to be covering the finance apprenticeships. So we offer two of these. And first, I'll cover the level 2 accounts finance apprenticeship. So this apprenticeship is a great opportunity for those that are school leavers, career changers, and current employees that do want to develop finance skills. So you learn about accounting systems, bookkeeping, finance principles, industry regulations, ethics, and professional standards. They're also covered. So with this, you'll also gain the AAT Level 2 certificate in accounting. It will roughly last around 12 months, and you'll also need to achieve a pass on the endpoint assessment and submit a portfolio as well. So ideal job roles for this apprenticeship will be a payroll assistant, accounts payable clerk, accounts receivable clerk, and finance administrator. So a step up from this is the level 3 assistant accountant apprenticeship. So with this, it will just be covering financial reporting, management, accounting, IT systems, and ethical standards. And you'll also build a portfolio of evidence, and you'll also complete an endpoint assessment, just showcasing your skills as well. So this will roughly approximately take 15 to 21 months to complete. And ideal job roles for this, you'll be looking at either a assistant accountant, you'll be either a finance accountant or a accounts assistant. Next, we'll just cover our payroll apprenticeships. So first, we've got the level 3 payroll administrator apprenticeship. So this is just designed for those that are managing payroll processes and just ensuring that employees are paid correctly and on time whilst following regulations. So it is ideal for those that are new and existing payroll professionals just looking to build their skills in compliance, payroll systems and reporting. So you'll actually get a hands-on experience in planning, prioritizing and understanding payroll legislations. And this program will actually also cover different payroll systems, data protection, and customer awareness. So this will roughly take around 18 months to complete. And with this as well, the ideal job roles will include payroll administrator, payroll officer, payroll coordinator, and payroll clerk. And include with the endpoint assessment with this as well, just to mention, includes a multiple choice test, a project with a report, and a professional discussion with an independent assessor. So with the level 5 payroll assistant manager apprenticeship, this is specifically designed for payroll professionals ready to take on leadership responsibilities. So that's the difference between the level 3 and the level 5. So you'll actually develop skills in managing payroll teams, handling complex payroll scenarios, and ensuring compliance with payroll regulations. So this will actually cover payroll planning, process improvement, strategic communication, and the latest industry trends. So you are keeping up to date, including automation and cloud-based systems. And you'll also learn actually how to support your team, prioritize tasks, and manage escalations effectively. So you'll be looking around 24 to 30 months to complete this qualification. And the endpoint assessment will include multiple choice tests. You've got a project with a presentation. Then you've also got a professional discussion with an independent assessor, and potential progression routes include the level 6 chartered manager or the level 7 senior leader qualifications. And ideal job roles for this include payroll supervisor, payroll team leader, payroll manager, and payroll assistant manager. So next we'll cover our HR apprenticeships. And first, we'll take a look at the level 3 HR support apprenticeship. So this will just cover HR processes, legislation, communication, problem solving, and service deliveries. So apprentices will gain actually practical experience in recruitment, payroll, and HR policies and employee support as well. So this will typically last anywhere from 18 to 24 months to complete, and will include an online portfolio, assessments, and off-the-job training, which I'll speak about a little bit later. But the endpoint assessment will consist of a consultative project and a professional discussion just to showcase your skills and knowledge as well. And then job roles for this specific apprenticeship will be HR administrator, HR assistant, recruitment assistant, HR consultant, and employee relations assistant. Then you also have the level 5 people professional apprenticeship. So this qualification is specifically for HR professionals, and it will cover strategy, employee relations, data analysis, and digital HR. And apprentices will actually also develop the skills in project management and people operations to allow them to support the business goals as well. So this will approximately take around 22 months to complete. Now, with this qualification, it does also include the CIPD Level 5 Associate Diploma in People Management, which will have to be completed alongside this qualification. And the endpoint assessment will involve a professional discussion, a project presentation, and assignment to demonstrate real-world HR expertise. Now, the job roles within this actually include HR business partner, people operations manager, talent manager, HR consultant, and a learning development manager. So next we'll take a look at our management apprenticeships. And first we have the level 3 team leader apprenticeship, which is specifically designed for aspiring or existing managers that are looking to develop their leadership skills, and will cover key areas such as team management, communication, problem solving, operational planning. And this will just ensure that the leaders can drive their performance and support the business objectives effective as they can. So with this apprenticeship, you'll be looking at roughly 12 to 18 months to complete, and it will combine just the real world application with an online portfolio. You have assessments, off the job training just to enhance your leadership skills. And the endpoint assessment will include a professional discussion, a practical project, and a presentation that will just demonstrate the ability to lead and manage teams successfully as well. And ideal job roles for this apprenticeship will be a team leader, a supervisor, and a first line manager. And then we'll just cover the level 5 operations manager apprenticeship. So this is designed for professionals that are looking to develop leadership and management expertise. So it focuses on strategic planning. You've got financial management, project delivery, and effective team leadership to drive business success. So this apprenticeship will actually be equivalent to a foundation degree, and it will take roughly 24 months to complete. And as well, the endpoint assessment will include a professional discussion. You'll have a strategic business project and a presentation. Will actually demonstrate the ability to manage operations effectively. And job roles for this one will include an operations manager, a regional manager, and a department manager as well. So I'll also cover our business administration apprenticeships. We do have a lot of apprenticeships. So with this, it's ideally for those that are looking to build skills in administration, organization, and communication. And you'll be able to gain experience in business processes, document production, IT systems, and customer service. So it'll roughly take 18 to 24 months to complete. And the endpoint assessment will include a portfolio interview, a knowledge test, and a workplace project presentation. So job roles for this will include an administration officer, a marketing assistant, an administration team leader, an office supervisor, a personal assistant, and a secretary. So then I'll cover our customer service apprenticeship. So we've got the level 2 customer service practitioner apprenticeship. So this is a foundation apprenticeship, ideal for those that are just starting a career in customer service, and it just focuses on communication, conflict resolution, and understanding customer needs. And the apprentices will actually gain practical experience in business operations and service delivery. So it'll take roughly around 12 months to complete this as well. And you'll have an endpoint assessment, which will include the practical observation, professional discussion, and a portfolio review as well. And job titles will include a retail assistant, a call center agent receptionist, or maybe a hospitality worker as well. And we also have the level 3 customer service specialist apprenticeships. So this apprenticeship is more for experienced customer service professionals. Will focus on complex interactions, problem solving, and business impact. And the apprentices will actually gain skills in the customer journey management, service improvements, and business processes. So it'll roughly take between 15 to 18 months to complete. And the endpoint assessment will actually include a practical observation. You'll have to do a word-based project and a professional discussion. And typical job roles will include being a retail assistant, call center management receptionist, and hospitality worker. Then we also have data apprenticeships as well. So first I'll cover the level 3 data technician apprenticeship. So this is mainly for those who are looking to build skills in data collection, analysis, and management. So the apprentices actually learn how to source, format, and interpret data, just while ensuring the compliance with the data protection regulations. And the program will actually cover effective communication of data insights into different audiences. So this will be roughly 18 to 24 months to complete. And the endpoint assessment will include a professional discussion, a scenario-based demonstration, and showcasing the ability to analyze and present data effectively. Now, typical job roles will include a data technician, a junior data engineer, a database administrator, data support specialist, and IT support for data systems. And now covering, so we're going over the level 4 data analyst apprenticeship. So with this, it's a career, again, focus program just for those that are developing skills in data collection, analysis, and reporting. The apprentices will actually learn to interpret and present data, solve problems, and ensure compliance as well. So roughly take between 24 to 30 months to complete. And the assessment will actually include the endpoint assessment will actually include a data analysis project report and professional discussion as well. And then progression routes can include such as the level 5 data engineer or the level 7 AI data specialist. And as a team, we can support your next steps. Typical roles will include a data analyst, junior analyst, business intelligence analyst, reporting analyst, data visualization specialist, and a data consultant. Then we also have marketing and content creation apprenticeships as well. So first, I'll cover the level 3 multi-channel marketer apprenticeship. So this is mainly for developing skills in digital and traditional marketing. So the apprentices will actually learn how to create campaigns, to analyze data, and to understand the customer journey as well. So you'll be looking at 18 to 24 months to complete this qualification. The endpoint assessments will include a portfolio interview and a work-based project with a presentation. And higher level apprenticeships that you can progress on to will be the level 4 marketing executive or the level 6 digital marketer. And typical job roles for this particular apprenticeship will include a multi-channel marketing executive, digital marketing coordinator, marketing campaign manager, social media manager, and marketing assistant. Then we've got the level 3 content creator apprenticeship. So with this, it's mainly for developing your skills in creating written, visual, and audio content. And the apprentices will actually learn how to produce high quality media, adapt content for different audiences, and follow brand and legal guidelines. It'll take roughly 15 to 21 months to complete. And the endpoint assessment for this one will include a project report. You've got a presentation and a professional discussion as well. And you can progress on to the level 4 marketing executive or the level 6 digital marketer. And typical job roles for this, job titles for this would be a content creator, a social media content manager, digital content producer, video content creator, and a copywriter as well. So again, that covers, just gives you a brief covering of all of our apprenticeships. Now, you probably heard me mention the endpoint assessment quite a few times. So anybody new to this, basically the endpoint assessment is just the final milestone in an apprentice's journey. So simply designed to just to make sure that you've gained all the skills and knowledge and behaviors that are needed for the role. So it's just an opportunity to just showcase everything that you've learned throughout your apprenticeship and just make sure that you are job ready as well. So a few things that are included in the endpoint assessment. First, you've got the practical assessment. So this is just kind of a real or a simulated task that is relevant to your job. Then you'll also have to do a professional discussion. So this is just a structured conversation about your role and your experience with an independent assessor. Then you've also got a knowledge test as well, which will just be checking and understanding your knowledge through multiple choice or for written questions. Then you've also got a portfolio review as well. So the evidence, this will just show you like the evidence of your skills that have been developed during the apprenticeship. So every endpoint assessment is different and it does depend upon the apprenticeship standard, but the goal of this is always going to be the same, just to make sure that the apprentices will be confident and capable and career ready on completion. So in terms of functional skills as well, with all of our qualifications, specifically the level 2 and level 3 apprenticeships, if you don't have GCSEs between A to C or level 9 to 4, with the level 2 and level 3 apprenticeships, you can complete English and math alongside uh, functional skills in English and maths alongside those apprenticeships. However, anything that is a level 4 and above, if you don't have GCSEs or GCSEs A to C or level 9 to 4 or English and maths, then you won't be able to enroll onto those qualifications. Also, with the level 5 qualifications, there is a competency discussion with our learning and quality manager. Now, this discussion just helps to prepare the apprentice and just to make sure that within their job role that actually fits the apprenticeship standard and they're able to cover every single part. Again, we don't want to put anybody onto an apprenticeship that, their job role just doesn't meet. And level 5 qualifications, there is quite a big demand. There is a lot of work to do on those. So again, we just want to make sure, have that conversation with you. It also gives the apprentice an opportunity to ask further questions as well. So that's why we have those competency discussions for the level for any level 5 apprenticeship as well. Now, in terms of our delivery, also, so we do deliver our apprenticeships remotely on a one-to-one basis. So nobody else will be within your learning session with your tutor. Again, that just allows you to, again, develop that relationship with your tutor. You're not having to wait for anybody else. But again, you can just ask them questions and again, build that relationship with them. However, if you do have two or more apprentices that are starting at the same time on the same qualification, then they can do group sessions if that's something that they want, or they can just do it individually. The choice is really up to the apprentice. So these learning sessions, they are conducted every 4 to 6 weeks roughly, and then looking at roughly 2 to 4 hours on average for each learning session with the tutor. And they also can be specified the sessions around the apprentice's schedule. So we always make sure that they have time for the session as well as a tutor. And then, as I said before, they're conducted every 4 to 6 weeks. So I mentioned off the job training before. Now, this can be a little bit confusing, but just to explain this in short, so 20% of an apprentice's weekly working hours needs to be allocated towards training and learning activities. So the government actually caps this at 30 hours per week for funding reasons for off the job training. So even if you are doing more than that, the government caps this at 30 hours. So these training and learning activities must just increase the apprentice's knowledge, skills, and behavior. And these activities can include anything from CPD to any training sessions, to shadowing a colleague's role and maybe writing a report about what the apprentice has learned, to maybe also being mentored by a senior colleague who's actually in a role that the apprentice aspires to be in. You've got individual study time as well, attending webinars. You've also got one-to-one session with your tutors. So there is quite a lot that actually counts towards off the job training. So we've got this framework as well that you can think about, and kind of it just helps clarify in your mind actually what directly relates to off the job training. So the first question you can ask yourself is it directly relevant to the apprenticeship? If it's not, then it doesn't count towards off the job training. If it is, then the next question you can ask yourself is it teaching new knowledge, skills, and behavior? And if it is, the next question to ask yourself is it taking place within the apprentice's normal working hours? So it must take place within your normal working hours. And then if it does, Then the next question to ask yourself is, does it exclude ineligible activities such as the initial assessment and English and maths? If it does, then it does count towards off the job training. So that's just a framework that helps to clarify off the job training. And then to break down off the job training, because as mentioned before, 20% of your weekly working hours needs to be allocated towards training and learning. So if you're working, as I said, the government caps off the job training at 30 hours. So if you're working 30 hours or more, then 20% of that means 6 hours each week needs to be dedicated towards off the job training. Then if you're working 25 hours, and that means then 20% of that means 5 hours needs to be allocated towards off the job training. If you're working 20 hours, then 20% of that means 4 hours needs to be allocated towards off the job training. If you're working 16 hours, then 3 hours and 12 minutes needs to be allocated towards off the job training. So hopefully that clarifies off the job training for you. Now, finally, we're on to funding. So the apprenticeship will be funded by two different ways, either your levy paying or your non-levy paying employer. If you are a levy paying employer, then the apprenticeship will be funded out of your apprenticeship levy. And just to be clear on that, this does just refer to the apprenticeship training course. That the salaries will still need to be paid by the employer, but there is an incentive for the business for those age 16 to 18 or 19 to 24 with an educational healthcare plan. And if you are a non-levy paying employer, then 16 to 21-year-olds are actually 100% funded by the government. Again, to be clear, this only refers to the apprenticeship training course. The salaries will have to still be paid by the employer. And then also, if you're 22 years old and above, then 95% of the apprenticeship is funded by the government with a 5% contribution from the business. And there also is an incentive for the business for those that are 16 to 18-year-olds or 19 to 24 years old with an education healthcare plan. So again, that takes us to the end of the webinar. I know I've talked for quite a long time, and I'm just going to open out the floor now. So if you do have any questions, then you are free to fire away. So this is just your opportunity to ask anything. So thank you for listening.
Thank you, Daniel. So yeah, just like Daniel said, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat now and we'll just look out for it.
Yeah, it's your chance to ask any question that might come to mind.
Right, so we've had a question from Sarah Ball. She said, do you advertise apprenticeship vacancies?
Do we advertise apprenticeship vacancies?
Yes, that's the question.
Okay, so regarding apprenticeship vacancies, I will have to get back to you on that. Just from memory, I know we only support employers that are based in the Chesterfield area. But again, I can get back to you on that question.
And then we have another question from Faye. Faye said, does this include people from Scotland?
No, only England.
Okay, and then the next question is, could you share the presentations so we could share with our colleagues?
Presentations, yes. So we'll actually be sending a copy out of the presentation to everybody that attended, so be able to watch it again. And as well, you've got our contact number and email there as well, if you have any more specific questions too.
Yep, thank you for those questions, everyone. And if we don't have any other questions, thank you for joining. I hope it was beneficial to yourselves. If you do have any other questions, our contact details are on the screen, so you could give our phone number a call or our email a call. After this webinar, we'll be sending an email to everyone attended with a copy of the webinar, just so you can watch it back or share it with whoever you'd like to share it with. So yeah, once again, thank you for joining everyone, and yeah, have a good rest of your days.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone. Take care.